Blake Lively finally reveals what Justin Baldoni did. For months, the internet thought Blake Lively was the villain. After It Ends With Us premiered in August 2024, the backlash was brutal. Critics called her tone-deaf, insensitive, out of touch with a movie about domestic violence. Justin Baldoni, meanwhile, seemed like the sensitive director who actually understood the material. He talked about survivors. He partnered with domestic violence organizations. He seemed like the good guy. But then Blake Lively filed a complaint with the California Civil Rights Department. And what came out in that filing turned everything upside down. Allegations of sexual harassment, unwanted touching, comments about her body, references to her dead father, and a coordinated smear campaign designed to destroy her reputation before she could speak. The documents that have since been unsealed reveal something far darker than a simple creative dispute. And what Blake Lively says happened on that set, it's worse than anyone imagined. To understand how things went so wrong, you need to understand how right everything seemed at the beginning. When Blake Lively was cast as Lily Bloom in It Ends With Us, it felt like a perfect match. The film, based on Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel about a woman navigating domestic abuse, needed someone with range, star power, and the ability to handle sensitive material. Lively had all of that. And Justin Baldoni, who had acquired the rights to the book back in 2019, seemed equally ideal as both director and co-star. He'd built a reputation as a male feminist. He gave TED Talks about masculinity. He spoke openly about vulnerability and supporting women. In that now famous TED Talk, Baldoni said something that would later become deeply ironic. He said, quote, "We must listen to the women, even if what they are saying is against you. Remember that line. It's going to matter later." Filming began in May 2023 in Hoboken, New Jersey. By all early accounts, Lively and Baldoni worked closely together in the beginning. They traded ideas about casting, they discussed the film's direction. The working relationship appeared collaborative, but according to court documents, cracks started appearing almost immediately. And this is where things get really disturbing. According to Blake Lively's complaint, the problems on set weren't subtle, they weren't misunderstandings. They were a pattern. Lively alleges that during filming, Baldoni repeatedly crossed physical boundaries without her consent. Her lawyers detailed incidents where Baldoni allegedly kissed her, nuzzled her, rubbed his face against her neck, and flicked her lip with his thumb. All of this, they say, happened off-script without discussion and without an intimacy coordinator present. In one particularly disturbing claim, Lively says she was unexpectedly made to crawl on all fours and simulate a sexual act that wasn't in the script. But here's where Baldoni's own evidence backfired spectacularly. In January 2025, Baldoni's team released a 10-minute video they claimed would disprove Lively's allegations about inappropriate behavior during an intimate scene. They thought this would clear his name. It did the opposite. Lively's legal team responded by pointing out exactly what the video showed. According to her attorneys, the footage captured Baldoni repeatedly leaning in toward Lively, attempting to kiss her, kissing her forehead, and talking to her out of character while she appeared to deflect the contact. Every moment, they said, was improvised by Baldoni, with no consent and no intimacy coordinator. The video he released to prove his innocence became evidence for the prosecution. But the physical boundary violations weren't the only issue. Lively alleges that Baldoni made repeated comments about her body during production. According to court documents, he allegedly called her personal trainer, Don Saladino, and asked how much she would weigh by the start of filming. In January 2026, Saladino's own deposition appeared to confirm this. He stated under oath that Baldoni asked about Lively's weight, claiming it was about a lift scene in the movie. The problem? According to the complaint, there was no such scene. Saladino said the calls made him very uncomfortable, and Baldoni allegedly went even further, trying to gift Lively a weight loss specialist. The complaint also describes a hostile environment filled with inappropriate conversations. Lively alleges that Baldoni showed her nude videos or images of women on set, that he discussed his alleged past pornography addiction, that he talked about sexual conquests in front of her and others, and then there's perhaps the most disturbing allegation of all. According to Lively, Baldoni told her that he could speak to the dead, and he claimed he had spoken to her father. Blake Lively's father, Ernie Lively, passed away in June 2021. According to the complaint, Baldoni used this tragedy in conversations with her on set. This wasn't just uncomfortable. This was allegedly weaponizing her grief. By January 2024, the situation had reached a breaking point. According to court documents, an all-hands meeting was held before filming resumed after the SAG-AFTRA strike. The purpose was to address Lovely's workplace concerns. Her husband, Ryan Reynolds, attended. At that meeting, Lovely allegedly laid out a 17-point list of demands, requirements for a safe working environment going forward. Among those demands, according to court filings, no more showing nude videos or images of women, no more mentions of Baldoni's alleged pornography addiction, no more discussions about sexual conquests, no more comments about cast and crew's bodies, no more inquiries about Blake's weight, and no further mention of Blake's dead father. Think about that for a moment. She had to explicitly request that her director stop bringing up her deceased father. According to the complaint, Baldoni and Wayfarer Studios agreed to these terms. Production resumed. But here's what allegedly happened behind the scenes. Newly unsealed text messages reveal Baldoni's private thoughts about the situation. In messages to another person involved with the film, Baldoni allegedly wrote that Lively had the nuclear bomb. He allegedly wrote that if Lively didn't promote the movie, she could leak that he was a bad person, or that she felt unsafe, along with all the stuff she has on me. His exact words, according to the filing, then she's the victim. In another message, he allegedly wrote, "The risk to my family isn't worth the creative integrity." These weren't the words of someone who believed the allegations were baseless. These were the words of someone who knew what had been documented. But wait, because we haven't even gotten to the smear campaign yet, remember how the public turned on Blake Lively during the film's release? Remember the criticism about her press tour? The accusations that she was tone-deaf about domestic violence? The viral clips that made her look cold and disconnected from the movie's message? According to Lively's lawsuit, none of that was organic. It was allegedly manufactured. Court documents allege that Baldoni and his production company, Wayfarer Studios, hired a crisis communications firm with a specific goal: destroy Blake Lively's reputation before she could speak out. The New York Times obtained internal documents that allegedly showed the strategy in action. One document reportedly included the phrase, "We can bury anyone." According to the filing, the plan involved what's called astroturfing, which means creating the appearance of grassroots backlash when it's actually coordinated by PR professionals. The goal, allegedly, was to flip the narrative, make Blake the villain, make Justin the victim, poison public opinion so that if she ever came forward, no one would believe her. And it worked, at least for a while. By the time the movie premiered in August 2024, the damage was done. Lively walked the red carpet with her co-stars. Baldoni walked separately with his wife and family. According to Baldoni's own lawsuit, which has since been dismissed, Lively and Reynolds demanded that Baldoni not attend the premiere at all. His team was allegedly ushered into the basement of the building. He watched the film in a smaller theater, while Lively introduced it in the main room. But here's what the public didn't know at the time. Behind the scenes, Blake Lively was already documenting everything. She was building a case, and she had allies who knew exactly what was happening. Blake Lively and Taylor Swift have been close friends for over a decade. They vacation together, their families spend holidays together. Swift is godmother to one of Lively's children. So when things started going wrong on set, Swift knew about it. In January 2026, thousands of pages of documents were unsealed ahead of a court hearing. Among them were text messages between Lively and Swift that Baldoni's lawyers had fought to make public. According to those filings, Swift was advising Lively throughout the situation. In one April 2024 message about the film's trailer, which featured Swift's song My Tears Ricochet, Swift allegedly wrote, "Welcome to Hollywood, Justin." She went on to speculate about power dynamics in the film, allegedly texting, "If Justin was strategic, he would be like no Taylor Swift in the trailer, because that gives you more power over the film. That's your ally, not his." Then, days before the New York Times article broke the story, Swift allegedly texted Lively about Baldoni, calling him a word we can't repeat here and adding, "I think this BI knows something is coming because he's gotten out his tiny violin." After Lively filed her complaint, Swift allegedly texted, "You won. Never has a cancellation been reversed so fast." Baldoni's team has repeatedly tried to drag Swift into the case. They subpoenaed her as a witness. A spokesperson for Swift responded that she never set foot on the set and wasn't involved in any creative decisions on the film. But the texts show something crucial. Blake Lively wasn't isolated. She had support. She was documenting in real time, and she was preparing for a fight. On December 20th, 2024, Blake Lively filed her complaint with the California Civil Rights Department. On December 21st, the New York Times published their explosive investigation. 10 days later, Lively filed a federal lawsuit against Baldoni, Wayfarer Studios, and their PR associates, seeking $500 million in damages. Baldoni fired back. In January 2025, he and Wayfarer filed a $400 million countersuit against Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist, alleging extortion, defamation, and invasion of privacy. His lawsuit claimed Lively used false sexual harassment claims to gain creative control over the film, that she threatened to withdraw from production, that she dismissed his editors and music composer, that she barred him from his own premiere. But in June 2025, a federal judge dismissed Baldoni's countersuit. He had the opportunity to refile an amended complaint. He let the deadline pass without doing so. Lively's case, meanwhile, is moving forward. A trial is scheduled for May 18, 2026. At a hearing just this week, Baldoni's lawyers argued that Lively's allegations were, quote, trivial and petty grievances. They claimed this was simply a creative disagreement about how to make a movie with hot and sexy scenes. The judge pushed back. He said, quote, a whole bunch of little things can add up to a big thing. When Baldoni's lawyer argued that Lively knew she was signing up for an intimate film, the judge interrupted to say that agreeing to act in a project does not mean agreeing to sexual harassment. Lively's lawyer stated it plainly. Her client was kissed, nuzzled, and touched without consent. That Baldoni was consistently inappropriate and crossed boundaries repeatedly. And Blake Lively herself, her attorney confirmed she will be the key witness at trial. She's ready to tell her story under oath. A year ago, the public thought they knew what happened on the set of It Ends With Us. Blake Lively was difficult. She hijacked the movie. She didn't understand domestic violence. Justin Baldoni was a male feminist caught in a Hollywood power struggle. But the documents tell a different story. Text messages, depositions, testimony from witnesses who were there. Lively's trainer confirmed the calls about her weight. A co-star described feeling uncomfortable with comments Baldoni made about a scene between teenagers. A Sony executive admitted to calling Lively a terrorist for demanding basic workplace protections. Multiple women have now come forward with their own experiences working with Baldoni on this film, and the man who built his brand on listening to women, his own text messages suggest he knew exactly what he was doing. She had the nuclear bomb, he allegedly wrote, then she's the victim. The trial is set for May. Blake Lively will testify. The jury will decide. But one thing is already clear. This was never about creative differences. This was never about two professionals who couldn't get along. This was allegedly about a woman who complained about harassment and a coordinated effort to destroy her before she could speak. The Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni case isn't just about two celebrities. It's about power, accountability, and what happens when someone tries to speak up in Hollywood. If you want to know how another celebrity's reputation was destroyed by manufactured outrage, that video is on screen now. Subscribe so you don't miss the trial coverage when it happens.